So today we're doing something a little different. Frank and I are actually going to try car camping for the first time. We're going to bring you along. And we made it. There's Frank. Just a quiet little pull off on a dirt road. It's by a brook and it's very secluded. There's no facilities. It's not a campground or anything like that. There's not even a fire ring here, which I think a mile or so down the road there is one with a fire ring, but we don't need to have a fire tonight. We're just here to hang out and try car camping for the first time. I think it'll be really nice to have the brook right next to us and just have a relaxing evening and have dinner and test out our new mattress. And yeah, should be a good night. So you might notice that I have a new car. I decided to go with a 2024 Ford Bronco. It is the Big Bend edition. I went with that for a couple reasons, one of them being its off-road capabilities, and the other being the fact that as a 5'2" female, I can lay down completely in the back. Frank is stopping every couple feet to smell everything. Yeah, but as a shorter female, I can lay down in the back completely, and I can also sit up on top of my mattress, and I have plenty of head clearance. So it's great for car camping and getting to some of the trickier places that I normally couldn't get to in a smaller vehicle. Frank is taking us on a walk down the road. Fortunately, the bugs are pretty bad, but I did bring some bug spray, so we should be fine. So Frank and I are gonna hang out for the night in the Bronco. We're gonna eat some dinner and probably get an early night's sleep because I was up most of the night at work and he didn't get very many naps today, so probably gonna be an early night tonight. Plus we don't have service, so it's not like we can do a whole lot other than hang out and go to bed. We'll probably take a little walk in the morning and see what else we can find around us, so that should be it. So these little screen things on my windows are actually gutter guards. You can hear Frank snoring in front of the fan. But these are actually just gutter guards with like a mesh in them to keep bugs out. But I figured that was a good way to get some airflow in here. And all I did was cut them to size for the windows and spray paint them black. And I did that because the Bronco has frameless windows, and so you can't just slide a mesh screen over the door frame. I had to get a little creative, but they seem to be working pretty well, and I will let you know how they work out. Supper time for Frank. He gets a special wet food topper on his kibble tonight, which he seems to be enjoying very much. So on the way up here, I stopped at one of my favorite sandwich shops and got a little sandwich for dinner tonight. So I'm just enjoying that while Frigg eats the rest of his food over here. And yeah, after that we'll probably just tuck in for the night and hang out and enjoy the peace and quiet. You having fun, buddy? Taking Frank for another quick little stroll before we tuck in for bed. Come on. Told you he was tired. It's only about 7:15 right now, but he is ready for bed. And so am I, honestly. It was a long night last night. A long day today to get here. But I'm happy we're here. It's very peaceful, very quiet. There's nobody around. And the sound of the little brook next to us is gonna put us right to sleep. Well, Frank's already sleeping. But overall, I'm happy with the string lights. I did break off the end of them already, but the rest of the string still works fine. Other than that, there's only a few things that I'd probably like to change about my setup. The screens are working really well. There's like a tiny little gap on the edge of the windows just because like they don't seal to the windows. You're just kind of like gently closing them until they reach the top, and you know, then it like gaps a little bit on the sides. But so far I haven't really noticed any bugs in here. Hopefully that doesn't change. And then I don't really have a cooler, and I don't really have a way to pack like my clothes and toiletries and anything like that. This is week 2 of owning the Bronco, and it's my first car camping experience in it. So over time, I know I will acquire those things and fine-tune packing. But I really just shoved everything in my backpacking bag because I knew that when I backpack, I have everything I need. So, you know, it makes sense just to shove it all in a bag. But it's kind of a pain in the butt to be like digging through my backpack to get to what I need in here. As for the mattress that I'm on, I ended up going with the deep sleep mattress that is specifically made for the Bronco, and I love it. I'm not super level. I'm not like pitched really far, but like my head is a little bit raised where I'm parked, and I don't have leveling blocks or anything like that, but it's not at an angle that like I can't sleep at. It's pretty comfortable. But the mattress itself, 10 out of 10. I'm really happy that I spent a little extra money and went with the deep sleep mattress because it is very comfortable. Yeah, other than that, I'm just using my inflatable camp pillow. I'm using my 30-degree quilt from REI, and I do have a fan that's behind the camera in case it's still a little too warm in here, but as of right now, it's probably in the low 60s, maybe high 50s, which is supposed to dip down to about 55 tonight. And I think we should be pretty cozy in here. And with that, I think we are probably going to start winding down. Hi, Frank. Alright, it is about 9 o'clock and Frank and I are officially going to turn in for the night. Hopefully we will wake up to a nice sunrise if I don't sleep in, which is also a possibility. Yeah, we took the string lights down and just have my super bright headlamp right now. Talk to you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. It is a little after 7 a.m. We slept great. Frank ended up underneath the sleeping bag with me like he usually does. Pretty soon we're gonna get up and go for a little walk and make some breakfast and some coffee. Have a slow morning at camp before we pack up and head back. Good morning. Good morning, sleepyhead. Oh, good morning. Oh, good morning. And he's off. One more look at the campsite before we pack up and head home. So originally I was going to make camp coffee because I brought my stove and my instant coffee and everything like that. But I'm actually I'm like one exit away from my favorite coffee shop ever, so I think I'm gonna do that instead. Maybe grab a little sweet treat for Frank and myself, and then we'll probably head home. Overall, I think we had a great night camping, and we picked a beautiful spot, very secluded, which is exactly what we wanted. And yeah, I definitely think we'll do this again. I learned some things about packing. We'll have to be better about that next time. There's a few other things that I'd like to get. I think we had a great time. You want some? Is that good? Alright, now that we've had coffee and breakfast, I think it's time to head home. So that's gonna be the end of our little car camping adventure. Hopefully we'll do a bunch more of these soon and check out some really cool places. So yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for coming along. Oops. Whoops. Are we recording? Where are you going?